It's Gunver time! Hello people, welcome back to another video. Well, today I've just jumped over to the wizard, actually, to show you another interesting build. So what this is the Delsere's Magnum Opus Slow Time. We'll be using the Delsere's full set, just 6 pieces of it, because this just makes it so the tool set, you reduce the cooldown of your slow time skill by just using basically anything, and we're using the Arcane Orb and Spectral Blades, even Explosive Blast. So you get a lot of toughness when standing in the slow time bubble, and you deal 2000 more damage from your Arcane Orb, Energy Twister, Explosive Blast to enemies standing within the bubble. Okay, so important items for the build includes Unstable Scepter, because this makes the Arcane Orb trigger, the explosion triggers 2 times. And because the explosion damage is so high, this is gonna be really useful. You're using the for survival means and also damage means, using the Orb of Infinite Depth, because you're gonna be using Explosive Blast to trigger this. Because it increases your damage by 5% per stack, because it stacks up to 4 times, and damage reduction. So you're gonna have a 60% damage reduction from that, as well as the 20% increase. That's a lot. You're using the Shame of Delsere belt because of the usage of signature spells. In this case, the Spectral Blades. The Ancient Parthen Defenders, because this is just because of the ring we're gonna be cubing. It's gonna be a really fat toughness boost. So yeah, okay, that's the stuff there. We'll be using the Compass Rose Traveler's Pledge combo, because in this build you're kind of standing still a lot of the time, so it's gonna be a you know it really makes up the damage here, because you're gonna be looking at between 50-100% damage increase all the time. So yeah, convention of elements, nothing special there. Legendary gems, Bane of the Trapped, Bane of the Stricken is you know, the crucial ones. And I mean, I'm using Esoteric Alteration for survival means. You can use anything else if you want to, I guess. I don't really know what, because I've been using this all the time, and I'm loving it. That's the gear. Oh yeah, for, you know, off stats and all that. You kind of on the head, you wanna be aiming to get an Arcane Orb damage affix. I haven't really got that because I'm really unlucky, and of course I have like ancient items all the way, but you know, what can you do? Amulet, try to get Arcane damage, crit damage, and crit chance socket. Those are the stats you should be aiming for. Bracer, Arcane damage, as well as, you know, the intelligent blah 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 crit. Probably you want some on the rings. You want the primary stat, crit damage, crit chance. Maybe there is an argument because you kind of want a lot of area damage in this build. I'm trying to get as much area damage as I can. Try to get it on the shoulders as well, if you are able to.
You know, I have some important
yeah, that's the gear. Cube time. You'll be using the Triumvirate in the cube, because of the what's it called? The way it synergizes with your Arcane Orb. Because your signature spells increase the damage of Arcane Orb by 200% for 6 seconds. It stacks up to 3 times, so 600%. And since you'll be spamming Spectral Blades anyway, you'll be holding this up. Aquila Curious as the armor slot, because you'll generally be above 90% primary resource, because I didn't went over this, but this belt, it makes your signature spells attack faster and restore arcane power. So you will probably be over that threshold a lot of the times. And you know, 50% reduced damage is always a plus. Okay, so here's the ring I'm talking about. The Halo of Arlice. Your ice armor now reduces damage from melee attacks by 60% and automatically casts Frost Nova when you take 10% of your life in damage. And this is like unmitigated. You know, you can have a barrier around you. You can have a shield from something and still proc this, because just as long as you lose 10% of your health, like if you notice you do that, you will proc this ring and your Frost Nova, and that synergizes with the Parthon defenders, because each stunned enemy increases your damage taken by 11%. So you can imagine what happens when you have like a bunch of mobs standing there, and you know, you freeze all of them, like maybe 10-15 mobs. That's 11% for each stun mob. So yeah, toughness through the roof right there. Yeah, so Paragon points. Movement speed, of course, intelligence, go after that. Cooldown reduction definitely should be picked first, following with crit chance and crit damage. Lastly, attack speed. Attack speed isn't really well. Attack speed is important in this build, but you gain so much attack speed from your belt that it's like it doesn't matter that much. Resist all, armor, life, region. Area damage definitely first, there's no question about it. Resource cost reduction, life on hit, and then gold find. Okay, so here's how it works. You put up your bubble, you spectral blade the mobs to get your arcane orb stack going, and then you just refresh your arcane orbs. And dead end, of course. Okay, let's see here. So you can see you actually do a lot of damage with this build. I recently soloed Great Rift 70 with this, so I mean it is powerful. It's a very good group build as well, because I've been grouping a lot with barbarians, support barbarians, and wow, I was gonna say they contribute a lot. So okay, yeah, be sure to keep up partly your Arcane Orb stacks with the Spectral Blades, as well as the what's it called? Explosive Blast, yeah. I don't know what that was so hard. But yeah, you see the stacks going on the Explosive Blast. Be sure to keep those up, because those are really increasing your toughness as well as your damage. So those are the basically things you have to keep. Oh, okay, yeah. There's one more thing, and I will go over that in the skills part. Alright, so skills we'll be using here includes Spectral Blade, Barrier Blades, because this has multiple uses. Partly because you gain a protective shield for 3 seconds that absorbs damage, so it's a very good survival thing. But also it procs your triumvirate, of course. But any signature skill does that. But Spectral Blades are, you know, the efficient one here. Arcane Orb, Arcane Orbit. That's a mouthful. Because you create 4 orbs that circle you, and you can just, you know, run in to the melee and just explode all over them. So that's the efficient one. Teleport, safe passage for safety reasons. You gain, you know, 20% damage reduction here. So it's a no-brainer. Ice armor crystallize, because you gain, you know, to gain more survival. Also, the Halo of Arlice, it boosts your ice armor actually, so that's why you're using it. Yeah, explosive blast, chain reaction, because just to get faster stacks of your infinite deaths orb. Slow time exhaustion, to reduce the damage the mobs does, because enemies caught by slow time deal 25% less damage. So I mean, it's really aiming towards you being able to survive here, which it should. But it also is a very powerful build. So illusionist for the passives here, because if you're going the higher grade rifting, you will be taking maybe some high hits, and you always will be renewing the cooldown on your teleport and slow time, which is awesome. Arcane Dynamo is a very important one as well, because it ties into the signature spamming as well. Because you're building up your Dynamo stacks, and then you're timing your Arcane Orb usage into that when you have 5 flashes. Unstable Anomaly even. So just for a safety reason here, because when when you're going Great Rift 70 above, yeah, you're gonna die once in a while. You're gonna receive fatal damage once in a while. I mean, so yeah, pick what you want, but generally you want this one at least. Audacity is probably the most important one here, because you will always be standing within 15 yards to enemies. You're always jumping in the fray. So yeah, why not? I mean, those are the main things here. I mean, Audacity is of course the most important one, but these are what I find to be equally as good to this build. So that's what I want to show you. This build is extremely competitive. I've seen some people using some kind of variation with actually a lot of people, but that's mostly for group play. This is for both group and solo, I think, because it does really well in solo. I've seen others using the Twisted Sword to make a more twister build, but that's mainly for group, because you can't reliably spawn the twisters in a way that it can continue to tick on the mobs, because you want a tank of some kind pulling the mobs into some kind of corner where you can just whip up your whirlwinds, and so they stay there and just continuously dotting them. But yeah, for this build actually, that's all I want to say. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. You have a good day.